It's Kyle Hunter from BangTheBook.com with a Saturday college basketball preview for Saturday, February 16th. This season is just flying right along. March Madness will be here before you know it. Conference tournaments coming up first. Exciting time of the year for college basketball fans and for college basketball bettors. So hope everybody's enjoying it. Got tons of free content over at BangTheBook.com. My daily free picks article at BangTheBook.com. Got free picks every single day. So far this year, been on a red hot run, 54-32 on those free plays. Nice profit for everybody following along. That's certainly the goal. I'm going to try to make you some more money. Hope it's a good season here the rest of the way. I know a lot of people have followed and been cashing in. That's my goal. I'm trying to provide free picks so that everybody can cash in here. And that's the goal for BangTheBook.com, is to help people make more money. So far this year, it's worked out. There's going to be streaks and slumps. We'll ride through it and see if we can finish up with a nice profit. But make sure you're checking out everything that's going on at BangTheBook.com. Adam Burke hosting the daily Bang the Book radio show. Tremendous guests there. Good content. If you're not following that every day, I suggest you start doing so. Also, subscribe here to Bang the Book on YouTube. Tons of videos going up here of late. Bang the Book has a daily one going up from Adam Burke throughout the week. Brian Blessing doing weekly videos. I'm doing the 2 videos here, previewing both Thursday's card in college basketball and then again on Saturday. So check those out and subscribe there at YouTube. Let's get into the meat of this college basketball card here for Saturday. Got some notes here. I'll run through several games, give you some leans, thoughts. I try to look at some of the big name game, the major games that most people are paying attention to. But I certainly like looking at the under-the-radar games. So I think there's the best value there. I know a lot of people have reached out and said, hey, we love those under-the-radar games, so I'm going to keep giving you those as well. Let's start in the Pac-12. Pac-12, not under the radar, but there's been some bad basketball in the Pac-12 this year, that's for sure. Terrible stuff. Oregon and Oregon State. Oregon State went to Eugene and won. They were up 18 points in that game at one point, won 77-72. Road revenge is a good angle in college basketball. I've talked about this on handicapping the hardwood. I've talked about this in these videos. You might be tired of hearing it by now. Road revenge is certainly a strong angle and something you want to pay attention to, especially when it's a quality team. I think Oregon is a pretty decent team, a well-coached team. Oregon State likely favored by a point, maybe even pick them here in this game. I think Oregon's zone defense gives them more trouble in this game. Oregon's been playing that zone, using the zone press, forcing some turnovers. Oregon State, a very inefficient team. They can be efficient on offense. Obviously, they did it against Oregon before, but they're inconsistent, I guess is the better word for it. So Oregon State, let's see if they can do it twice. I like the road revenge angle here in this one. Northeastern and College of Charleston. Here's an under-the-radar game in the CAA. Northeastern second in the CAA, Charleston third. Hey, I got that Hofstra and College of Charleston game wrong on Thursday. I always tell when I'm right and tell when I'm wrong. No reason to BS here, just try to give you the facts. Here's where I've done well, here's where I was wrong. Hofstra just shot the lights out the other day against CFC. I missed that one. That was a premium play for me. I gave that one also as a lean here on the video the day before, and it came out CFC +1. I like that price. CFC ends up losing by 4. So they put a lot into that game. I know that was a game that really meant a lot to them. We're down 20 at one point, made a huge comeback late. Grant Riller scores 43 points for Charleston. They lose by 4 points. What's going to happen in a game like this? The first game between Northeastern and Charleston turned the ball over 17 times, which is certainly not like them. Usually very good at taking care of the basketball. Only 15% of their offensive possessions end in a turnover. So you would think that would regress to the norm, especially since Northeastern doesn't force that many turnovers. But at the same time, I don't think this is a very good spot for Charleston. So tough game to handicap, but certainly an interesting handicap. I think that it will be higher scoring than it was before, with only a 69-60 final before. Let's see where the line comes out here. I think I would lean toward Northeastern, but nothing strong in this one. Penn State and Purdue. Penn State lost in overtime against Purdue the first game. That was a game Penn State really could have won. And if you had Penn State in that first game against the spread, a really bad beat in that game. Penn State definitely should not have lost ATS against Purdue in that game at home. They did. Let's see what happens here. Penn State beat Michigan straight up. I had Penn State in that game, was able to cash in on that one. This is one where I continue to lean toward Penn State. I really think that they were probably still undervalued, not quite as undervalued as they were. I know this sounds really funny, and it sounds weird to say it, but Penn State is the best 2-11 conference team I've seen in a long time. I think this Penn State team is much better than their record would indicate. Definitely not as good as Purdue. Certainly not saying that. But, if you're getting double digits, you get 12, 13 points here with Penn State. I would definitely lean toward Penn State again. You could argue this is a bad spot for Penn State coming off that win. At the same time, Penn State had been very close many times to pulling a big upset. So it wasn't like that was, just a one-time thing. I think Penn State is a pretty good team. We'll see how many points they're catching in this game. Fresno State and New Mexico. A lot of teams in the Mountain West Conference try to slow the game down, especially you think Wyoming, Air Force, Boise State, several teams that really try to slow you down. Fresno State and New Mexico have shown that they want to run when given a chance. In their first game, they ran, played very fast, high-scoring game. I think we see the same here again. The fact that both of them have had some games that were lower scoring or under the total here recently likely gives us a better price than what we should get as far as what the total will be. I think 147, 148, somewhere in that range, 147 and a half. I think that's a pretty good guess as to where this one's going to be. This total likely gets bet up. So if you like the over, I think you want to take it early. New Mexico totals have been getting bet up consistently in the past. I think that's something you should be doing if you're not already, watching the market and seeing which teams seem to get steamed a certain way consistently, because it's usually a pattern that continues for a while. I like the over in this one. I think we see another fast pace. If it's a good enough price, I like the over here. Utah Valley and UT Rio Grande Valley. Here's one way under the radar. I like this. Adam Burke pointed this out on Handicapping the Hardwood the other day on Bang the Book Radio. And I think that, this is a really, really interesting spot in that we were talking about Utah Valley. We were talking about the game against New Mexico State. And I lean toward Utah Valley in that one. They did cover the spread there against New Mexico State. They played hard. New Mexico State, the best team in this conference. Now they go to UT Rio Grande Valley. Not near as good of a team as New Mexico State, but one that's playing really well lately. They have a pretty good home court advantage. Second game in 3 days here for Utah Valley on the road. Utah Valley also blew them out. 22-point win at Utah Valley earlier this year. You would think UT Rio Grande Valley would certainly be thinking about revenge in this one. If you can get any points here with UT Rio Grande Valley, I think that's a good look here. I think Utah Valley in a difficult spot, maybe even try to money line UT Rio Grande Valley. Looks like most of the projections have Utah Valley by a point or two. I think this line probably comes out about pick'em, but I would certainly lean toward UT Rio Grande Valley because of the spot. Murray State, Eastern Kentucky, another under-the-radar game. So the question in Eastern Kentucky games is always, will the other team play at their pace? Because Eastern Kentucky wants to run, press, full court, get out and run. They're not very good in half-court sets. They are good when they can force turnovers and get a quick score, obviously. Murray State, coming off that national television win against Austin Peay. I think this is a bad spot for Murray State. Murray State already beat Eastern Kentucky fairly easily in the first game, 97-85. Murray State now feeling pretty good about themselves after that win at Austin Peay. Now they have to play an Eastern Kentucky team that plays a unique style. I would lean toward Eastern Kentucky. I do like the over in this game. If you look at how fast they played in the first game, 84 possessions, a really, really fast tempo. So Murray played at Eastern Kentucky's tempo. If they do that again here, I think this game goes over the total. So you got to decide whether you think Murray's going to run with them again. If they're going to, I think this total will be set too low. Let's talk about the big game. I have to talk about a big one as well. Tennessee and Kentucky. Arguably the biggest game of the season thus far. Tennessee on a great winning streak. They've only lost one game all year, and that was in overtime. Kentucky in a bad mood coming off that loss to LSU. Questionable call there on whether it was goaltending or not. It was allowed. LSU wins. Weren't able to review that. Everybody's heard it by now, likely. Kentucky's got to be upset about that, and Kentucky has really been playing well. I know they just lost to LSU. I think LSU is a better team than most people would think. And Kentucky's defense has really impressed me a lot. They're a physical defense. there's no real weakness to their defense. I think everybody on the floor for Kentucky is a pretty good defender. Tennessee's been very good on offense this year, but they haven't faced many defenses like this, that's for sure. I think that Kentucky will be favored here by 2.5 points. I see the under as the most valuable thing here. I think that Kentucky has been slowing the game down pretty consistently, been playing at that tempo that they want to play at, and also getting teams to shoot a really poor percentage. Now, Tennessee is a better offense than they've been playing against, but still, if you get a high 140s total in this game, I think the under is a good look here. So I hope you're following everything that's going on at bangthebook.com. Follow me on Twitter at Kyle Hunter Picks. Follow Bang the Book at Bang the Book on Twitter. Subscribe here on YouTube to Bang the Book. Plenty of content coming out soon. I hope everybody's having a good college basketball season thus far. Trying to help out every way that we can with the situational spots article that goes up weekly, the 2 video previews, the daily picks article. Here it is Friday as I record this, again for the Saturday, February 16th game. So I hope everybody has a great weekend this weekend, and good luck on all of your plays.